All right, welcome everybody to a beautiful Wednesday evening here, and this is the Big Voice Sports Talk Show that we're going to be introducing a couple people as well. So we'll turn it over to our host here and take us away, Coach Q.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and loyal watchers and listeners of the Big Voice Sports Talk Show. Each episode we try to bring you all the local sports that's going on around Winnebago and around the surrounding areas, such as the Omaha Nation, Walt Hill, and Santee. We'll be discussing a little bit about what's been going on with those guys lately as well. And we also try to get a special guest coach in here to do a little interview and talk about their programs and stuff like that. You know, so that's what we're doing. And Garen, we are on episode 9. Mm-hmm. We're almost at a dime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're almost at a dime here.
Nickel plus 4 pennies.
Yeah, so this evening, our special guest coach is Coach Austin Bales. He's the lead man for the esports at the school here. So welcome, Coach Bales.
Thanks for having me.
Coach Bales, we got one for you. we got to give you like a good introduction and stuff. Like, I got some sound effects here.
All right, let's make them. Show them out.
See if I can get one. Oh, okay. All right. So that's a little more hoop here. We gotta turn it up. Just the hair. One more time here. Because you're the champion of the Achievement Powwow. You won it a couple years, right?
Yeah, a couple years ago. I think I won that, and I haven't participated in a couple of years. I think I was good after that one.
Did you go into retirement?
Yeah, had to retire on top there.
That's what you gotta do, just like John Elway.
Yeah, man. The teacher dance special. The kids really enjoyed that. I always remember that and stuff. But welcome, man. Good to have you here, and glad that Coach got you here to come in. And
you know, I looked when I messaged Coach Bales earlier today. I looked at one of our most recent messages, and I was asking about live streaming, because that's when you guys started doing the live stream for the games a couple years back, you know. And I think I was asking him, to try to, how do I get on, you know? And then just ball rolled in my direction, you know. So but I was kind of liking it up because you guys were doing the live stream a couple years ago. So
yeah, that was a good time.
2 years ago, me and you were the commentators, and you know that's why we used to go back. The funniest line though, I always remember this to this day and stuff, but the basketball play was going on, right?
Yeah.
And here somebody, I think it was a referee, stopped the whole thing, and he blew the whistle. And then he found a nail that was on the court, and he didn't want nobody to trip on it and stuff. And I was like, wow, what was that and stuff? And it was a nail. So I think a basketball player had fallen off a nail or something like that.
A fingernail?
Yeah, and I was like, wow, that referee has some good eyes, to see that on the basketball court. And then he goes, should take him mushroom hunting.
That's
a good mushroom hunter right there.
I know. Go recruit that referee. That'd be good on there.
Eagle eye.
That's for good eyes.
That was crazy.
Yeah, so I was thinking too, Garen, when we start the episode every week, that I need to come up with a catchphrase or something, you know? Like, we do the live streams for the games, and then we're on the radio, and I don't have no catchphrase except for "Let's go." You know, when somebody makes a good three, or we get a run going, "Let's go." You know.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be working on that. So just so you guys know it.
Yeah, because you mentioned in your promo, he's like, join us for all the Resi sports talk. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we gotta get to. If you guys maybe comment, because we're on Facebook here.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey, Facebook listeners, radio listeners. I mean, you guys know how to get a hold of us. Bethany will let you know how to get a hold of us if you don't know how to get a hold of us. But hey, I need a catchphrase for the sports show. Maybe if you guys have any ideas or any kind of catchphrases that you can think of that maybe I could use, the resier the better.
The resier the better.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think we got a T-shirt. We got a T-shirt to give away.
We do.
Oh, we got a T-shirt to give away
for somebody that comes up with a cool
catchphrase. Let's hear the. I got a T-shirt here for the resiest catchphrase.
Yeah.
All right. Like on ESPN, that guy was like, "He may go all the way." You know that? He says it all the time. Or like Dick Vitale says, "The diaper dandies" and all that kind of stuff. So you guys help me out a little bit.
Austin, you got one, man? You've been around the res for a minute.
We always like saying res PN. That was a pretty cool one.
Yeah,
Respin.
yeah. Respin.
Yeah, I think Eugene was using that one too. Yeah, that's a good one.
So what do we got in store today for the listeners and those that are going to be joining on?
All right, so I write down these topics, throughout the week. I try to get to some of these events, and so I can actually have a live kind of, how would you say, report, like a live report from something that happened. This week, we're going to talk about the high school wrestling, boys and the girls. We're also going to talk about the youth wrestling program, the Company A Scouts youth wrestling program. I got a little bit of information on that.
Tearing it up.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a little bit about, I put high school football on here because I thought Coach Trammer was going to make it in, and I was going to have him kind of maybe give us a short report from the football season, because we haven't gotten anybody to talk about football, since we started this show here. So I wanted him to maybe give us a rundown. But then we go to high school basketball. The boys and the girls Lewis and Clark conference is going on right now, and then just wanted to speak a little bit about the NBA. I'm an NBA fan myself. I like watching games late at night. I usually catch the West Coast games, but just a little discussion on the past week in the NBA. Mm-hmm. And then we need to talk about this Super Bowl.
Yeah,
we got the team. The teams are set, and we'll talk about that. And I know that you guys were talking about it on the show yesterday,
right?
And so I know that we're going to continue on that discussion.
Okay,
all right.
Okay. And where are the Eagles from, Bethany? They're
Philadelphia.
They're not from Kansas City.
No.
She was like, "Where? What did you think I said?"
I thought he asked me where the Chiefs were from. That's why I said Kansas City.
Oh,
yeah.
And then we'll talk a little bit about Peru State and the women's and the men's teams, with some of our locals going to school and playing ball down there.
Okay.
So we'll talk a little bit about that, and then we'll esports is actually on our list, but we're going to put esports to the top of our list today, since we have Coach Bales here, so he can kind of give us a little insight on what's going on with that too. So
yeah, for sure.
But that's what our list is going to be, and then after that we usually do our weekly winners. So I hope you guys have. I got
a loser for today, man. You said try to keep it positive, but man, it's a res sport talk show.
Okay,
you have to have a loser. So you can just blame it on me.
All right, but let's do it then.
I'm gonna have a loser today. Okay. I got it.
If you guys can think of one, you guys can have one too.
Yeah. You don't have to do it. So I'll take the blame on this.
Think your weekly winner, and also think of a weekly loser, then, guys.
All right.
All right. Like pro sports or what, or just in general?
Just sports in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, since this is a sports show, let's
try to keep it sports.
Yeah. So, let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. So, like I said, we're gonna put esports at the top. We got Coach Austin Bales here. We got a little bit of. I had a conversation with Coach Huge on the way up to the game last night in Wynot, and we had an hour and 10 minutes to visit, and we talked about a lot of different sports, and esports come up. He said, "You guys need to talk about esports," and I was like, "I know." I said, "But I don't know anything about it, and I don't even know who the coach is." And he's like, "Well, you need to get a hold of Bales," and then he started telling me about that a couple of the boys made the state.
Yep, we got two teams going to the winter state right now.
How about you just give us a little rundown of what esports is, what kind of games that the kids play, and then go ahead and give us a rundown of what's going on with you guys right now.
All right, before we do that, Coach Q, this is the first time people met Austin, so give us your introduction.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
My name's Austin Bales. I've been at Winnebago Public School now for 10 years. I'm currently the IT guy. I did teach like digital media and stuff like that earlier in my career, but yeah. And now I'm on to esports. I was doing the live stream with Garen and stuff. Now esports takes up that time, and it's been going pretty good. Yeah. It's awesome.
So what is esports?
So esports is basically like competitive gaming. People log into a PC, or they still do consoles. And you're playing another team or another player competitively in a game that's got a scene.
Yeah.
So just to give you the rundown on what the Nebraska one is about. So it's the NSESA, the Nebraska Schools Esports Association. There's 79 member schools, right now all the way across Nebraska. So they split it up. Division 1 would be like Class A, Division 2 Class B, Division 3 C, Division 4 D.
Sure.
We are currently in Division 3, which makes sense as we're Class C and our other athletics, so it does go by enrollment.
Yeah.
The games we play are in the fall. There's 3 seasons. There's fall, winter, and spring. The fall we do Rocket League, Smash Bros 1v1, and it was Valorant this year, but it's usually Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
But they do like kind of a first-person shooter that's cartoon themed.
Yeah.
In the fall. And this winter winter wasn't a season until last year. They threw in Mario Kart.
Oh, okay.
And so the winter, and they threw in Clash Royale this year. So we have Mario Kart and Clash Royale in the winter, and we sent a team in both of those to the state finals, and I can go on about that. In the spring, we play, they kind of switch up the games, but this year it's League of Legends, Smash 2v2, and StarCraft 2.
Okay.
So it's kind of a mix of PC games, Nintendo Switch games. All the games have like a scene where, you know, they have competitive tournaments and, you know, there's scholarships available for the kids to go play in college. Like these are the games that colleges play.
Yeah.
So it's not like Fortnite's one that's kind of, you know, it's gaining traction in the esports world, and there's quite a few that want to make it an esport game in Nebraska, but right now it's not.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of hoping they do make it an esport game in Nebraska, because we got some of the best Fortnite players in the state. I think we did do one
For
tournament
real.
and we did really well.
Cool. For sure.
But yeah.
We just are bringing up your blog here from, it says Winnebago sends 2 teams to the Winter State Finals. Tell us about that, man.
Yeah, so we actually almost sent 4. So we played 2 games, Clash Royale and Mario Kart 2, or Mario Kart 8. And each school can have 2 teams participate. So basically you got your team 1, team 2. Most teams do, you know, team 1, you stack it with your better players. Team 2, your next better players.
Yeah.
And we were fortunate enough to have, you know, a pretty good bunch to pick from. So both our teams and both of them were pretty good. Clash Royale won. Team 1, they kind of got the shaft with the seeding.
Oh.
There was they went undefeated all year, and then there was a team that forfeited the last couple games because of the snow days. So they ended up dropping way down, and we had to play them first round when they were actually one of the better teams.
Dang.
But those guys had a pretty good year, even though they didn't make it to state. But our Clash Royale team 2 did go ahead and go to state. They handled Louisville.
So the number 1 seed went down.
Yep. Well, they were number 2 in the state.
Wow.
But they were our team, yeah.
And just ran into the guys that got into some
Yeah,
winter
they
weather
just
and stuff. Do you think like when you guys go to the meetings and stuff that you kind of bring that up and say, hey, this is
it was unfortunate. I mean, somebody was gonna, you know, I understood it, and you know, to be the best, you got to beat the best, and that's what they told the guys. You know, we still should have won. I mean, they're right there. They didn't play their best, and I think they could have won, but.
Well, okay, so we were talking about this. Set the court for us. Like, how is this? Like, are they equipped with communication tools and a mouse? Or they
it just depends on the game. So, like, Clash Royale's a single-player game, so it's like me playing you, and then, like, we're in the number 1 spot, so we're, like, the number 1s on our team. And then, you know, say you guys are the number 2s, you guys play. So we go 2 out of 3, they go 2 out of 3, and then there's a third that goes 2 out of 3. And it depends on who wins the most matches. So if I won my match and he won his match, you know, our team wins 2-1 or whatever.
Clash Royale.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You ever play it?
No, I never played any of the games except for the Mario Karts.
Yeah. I was going to take it back to Mario Kart.
I know. You know, I heard about Mario Karts last year. And didn't we send some people to state last year?
Yeah. So last
don't we have
year,
a state champion?
so just to throw back from last year, we got 3rd in Overwatch in the fall and 4th in Hearthstone. And Hearthstone's not a game this year, but that was a game last year. And then in the winter, we got 1st in Mario Kart.
And who was the team on Mario Kart?
The Mario Kart team that won it was Thomas Mallory, Zeke Sharpback, Alex Brownrigg, Marlon Musau, and Tylen Walker.
Nice.
And
State
we got
champs. State champs.
And we're trying to defend that title now. Marlon or Tylen are back in the mix, and
could you tell us who all made it this year?
Yeah, so this year there's team 1 is for our Mario Kart was Devin Houghton, Marlon, Damon Pear, Tylen, and Eugene Decora.
Nice.
And those guys all played a lot this year. They've been killing it this year, beating teams really bad. So hopefully they keep it going here.
Dang. So in Mario Kart, how was that one? Like you said, Clash Royale.
So the Mario Kart works where we get 4 players and they get 4 players.
Yeah.
And then each you race four races in a cup.
Okay.
And basically, so like first place you get 12 points. Second place you get like 10, and then it's 8, whatever, all the way down.
Yeah.
And so like if we have the dude get first place, then we get 12 points plus, our third place, fourth place, whatever places your 4 guys get, you add those points to your total, and then it just comes down to whatever team has the most points.
That sounds very interesting. I don't know. Is there like any YouTube videos that we can see of our boys playing?
No, we got to keep that in DL for scouting purposes now.
Yeah.
But, we just,
No, for real, huh? For real.
No, Mario Kart probably wouldn't matter, but you can see like what teams race, like what maps they like, so then you could practice those maps.
Okay.
Because basically it's just you'll pick a map and it randomly picks a map. So like our 4 guys can pick this map, their 4 guys can pick this map. And then it goes through like a little randomizer, and then it selects a map. And you can only race one.
My opinion, when I did Mario Kart, this is my opinion. Did you ever play Mario Kart?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yoshi's the best, right?
I always use Mario.
Mario, he's a little
They say
slow.
Waluigi is the
best.
Yeah.
The wild one, the purple one. Is that?
Yeah, the purple Luigi.
No.
Who'd you play?
I always get Yoshi.
Yeah,
Yoshi.
Yoshi is the best.
Yeah.
That's what I think. The little, I don't even know what it is. Is it a little dinosaur or something like that?
A little mushroom on his head.
Yeah.
The fun ones when they had the Mario Kart on the Wii. Do you remember that? They even gave you the steering wheel.
Right.
They would be turning their whole body.
Yeah. No, that's when I played most of the time was the Wii.
But the esports is like a serious industry. I wanted to just share this story is because I shared it, I think, on One Big Old Talks, or when we heard about them going to the state. I was at Mystic Lake and the casino, right?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of gamers that coming in. I was like, what is going on and stuff? And they had like the championship, and first place was like $50,000. I was like, wow, man, I wish they had that back in my days and stuff. So you could. Is there people making a professional living off this?
There's people that are good enough to be in the competitive scene, and they're on sponsored teams, and they play in those big cash tournaments. And then there's also a scene just for guys being really good streaming.
Wow.
And getting revenue that way.
Yeah. So there's a career field in this.
Yeah, for sure.
And
if you're good enough and creative enough.
Yeah.
Right. That is very interesting. We got to do station identification real quick.
Yeah, so thank you for tuning in with episode 9, Big Voice Sports Talk Show on the Big Voice Radio, KWTN 100.9 FM.
Coach Q, Coach Austin, DJ Garanteed, and DJ Bessami in the house.
Yeah. Hey, interesting topic. And when I was talking with I think we talked about esports last week, and then really kind of heavily on this conversation I had with Eugene, because his son is actually is on both of those squads that made it to the state. So one thing that I was wondering about, because like my boys too at home, I mean they play all kind of video games. If they're not in the gym, if they're not at school, or if they're not in the gym, then they're at the house on the gaming console. And they have a lot of friends on there, and they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I hear them talking about winning all these different games and tournaments and stuff like that online from the house. So I was telling my boy, well, why don't you get into the esports thing? And I think because he's in the academy, and he's out for sports all the time, that he thinks he don't have time for it.
Yeah.
So how
We do work around schedules, so if there's like Cassius is one he's going to state and Clash, and he plays basketball.
Yeah.
That one was a little easier to work around because it was a mobile game, so sometimes he'd be playing wherever they were at for that game tonight.
Oh yeah.
But no, yeah, you can definitely do both. It's tougher to schedule stuff, but if you're good enough and if you're on the borderline of being, varsity or not, then I'll probably just say, hey, stick to basketball or whatever. But if you're like one of the top guys, then come play.
I might have to have them maybe practice up those games or something, because they were all talking about it too, and they were trying to find certain games on their phones if they had the app or whatever. But I might have to send them your way a little bit and see what they got, because we always talk about on here about the sports that the youth can get better at and learn how to play that could possibly maybe help them pay for their college when they get older, and esports, if it's the same way with that, why not push them in that direction,
Right.
A lot of kids that we have around here that don't go out for sports, they need something, and I'm sure that's some of the most kids you get are the ones that aren't out for basketball,
right,
and aren't out for football and all that.
Yeah, we definitely don't have a lot of athletes doing it right now. We got a couple, but yeah, they're mostly guys that aren't doing anything, or they're doing like the speech and theater activities.
Yep.
Which is cool.
Yeah, very very interesting. So how do we recruit for your class? Just have them come talk to you from the school?
Yeah, we usually I'll go talk to kids here and there. Like I just started recruiting because I'm noticing we're pretty junior senior heavy right now.
Oh yeah.
So I'm kind of worried about once these juniors are gone, make sure we got some freshmen sophomore coming up that are ready to go. But I got some that are showing up now, and so we'll see. I think it's just kids want to do it, but it just depends if they played those games. Like a lot of them are, they're big time gamers and they love playing video games, but then they're like not into the games that the state is putting on. So I think once the state adds Fortnite, we'll have almost too many people.
Yeah. Hey, I got another question now. This is just something just crossed my mind. How about so I coach basketball and I do a lot of other sports, kind of like around the peewee and kind of the younger age groups. One thing that I always ask for, and I know other coaches do too, is parent involvement. And the parent involvement in sports. We like to see the parents show up to the games and make sure the kids are at practice on time, and making sure the kids are keeping their grades up. How is the parent involvement with esports?
There's not a lot. I just don't contact parents a lot and talk to them a lot. It's something that we play for. You don't really have spectators in esports.
Yeah.
We got a little itty bitty room. Just a couple buddies watching their friends play is the amount of spectators we get.
And the school, is there like I guess what I'm thinking is like, because we do a lot of fundraising, for basketball, for different things, is there any type of fundraising needed for you guys, or is everything all
so far we got lucky with a couple grants that we were able to get some good stuff and get us on our feet.
There you go.
So we're pretty established that way. But it never hurts. We just got the kids some jerseys this year.
Oh, there you go.
So they're gonna be rocking them for the first time down at state.
Dang.
So that'll be cool.
That sounds cool right there.
For sure, man. Just to earn a jersey and stuff or whatever, I got a little Winnebago in the news, emblem on my thing, and I was rocking that thing.
Rock it,
So for sure,
rock it, man.
That feel good, play good.
Yeah. So listeners out there, parents or grandparents, if your kid's a gamer and maybe want them to, get off the couch and come do some real gaming for some competition, possibly to get them into college and stuff like that. Hey, have them come talk to Coach Bales at the school up there. So
yep, and I can drop our whole game list on this video.
Okay.
I'll comment on there.
So you yourself, do you compete professionally or anything?
No, nothing super serious. But yeah, I used to be pretty big into it in like high school and college. Just playing like Call of Duty and like MLB The Show were a couple of my favorite games. 2K, Madden, NCAA football.
I used to like to play my PS. I think back in those days it was PS3 and stuff.
PS1.
But you know what got in the way is kids.
Yeah.
They took the
over.
joystick. Yeah, so
That's where I'm at right now.
Hey, I got one more.
Set me into retirement.
So growing up, playing against or coaching all these younger ones coming up, and sometimes they test the coach as they get older. Coach, I can make more free throws than you, or I could post you up, or something like that.
Right.
And you get out there, and you got as a coach, you still got to show your dominance, and maybe just hit 4 or 5 threes in a row and say, okay, I'm done. You guys, you kids, So how about you?
Well, the beginning of the year, I was doing pretty decent in Mario Kart. I could, I'd get like top 3 here and there. But now it's like they've gotten so good. It's not even fun. I'm like fighting for last place every time, and I'm not bad. Like it's just they're that good.
Dang,
That's
we're looking
cool,
forward
huh?
to that.
Yeah, that's good.
Awesome. A lot of hand-eye coordination, right?
Yeah, I would say there's definitely there. You gotta.
Yeah, control the sticks.
Yeah, it's like a different than like athletic movements and stuff, but it's still like you gotta like have that hand-eye coordination to
and
play.
concentration and stuff.
I kind of picture some of those boys or some of those the gamers that are in this competition here, sitting back in a recliner, have their little soda on the side or something like that. That's how I picture it, like one of those gamers you see, like my boys sitting there playing 2K. They'll be back there. They got chips and all kind of stuff sitting around and playing. None of that though, right?
Once in a while they'll hit up, like if the staff lounge is open, sometimes they go and buy up some snacks. Or,
okay.
Or sometimes if we got like a later game, they'll hit up DG or somewhere and come in with some snacks.
Not in competition though.
Just depends. If it's right after school, they don't. But like I said, if it's like if we're playing at like 6, they'll run home and grab some snacks. Sometimes energy drinks, and I'm like, I don't know why you guys are drinking that at 6 o'clock. But
I'm a fan. You know what I mean? And appreciate you bringing that to the Winnebago community.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Especially our youth. What I've seen out there in competitions, I've seen some documentaries on them too. Over in Asia, there's a huge market for that, and we might send some players over there. And you never know what will be coming out of the WPS here in a couple of years.
Yeah, I heard even the kids said that the games a lot of them are strategies. You got to have different team strategies and stuff, and that in itself could probably have one of our kids become successful by just learning different strategies and learn that mindset. So
Right.
yeah,
I think it's a good
and it's
thing.
good teamwork builder.
Yeah,
For sure. Next topic, man.
All right, next topic. We're gonna scoot on down to the high school wrestling program. I was sent a number of emails from the past competitions in the last week or so. Not going to open each one of them. What I want to talk about though is the high school wrestling. I had it on here. Coach Tramler was going to be here. Got busy because they got competitions coming up, but we talked about this last week that we got a couple back-to-back conference champions on the girls wrestling team, and a number of the boys had placed and got enough points to place fourth in conference as a team. So big ups to the wrestling program, Coach Tramner. I found out that Coach Darrell Zagurski, yeah, he's the first wrestler from Winnebago that went to the state wrestling meet and everything. He's back from college and he's up there coaching. I got to peek my head in there and watch the high school wrestlers.
Yeah.
And boy, those guys work.
Yeah.
They work out.
Did you wrestle?
No, I played basketball.
You play basketball?
Yeah,
Okay. I never wrestled.
No.
I got wrestled.
Yeah.
But I never played, or not played, but I never was involved. They didn't have the wrestling program when I graduated.
No, and I'm really happy that wrestling got here to Winnebago, because a lot of schools were doing it that are surrounding our school. This whole area, a lot of schools were doing it, and we weren't. And once we got on, it just seemed like people caught on so fast. I mean Zagurski the first year, and then Zariah come in and everybody in between and everybody after, we have some potential state champions right now, and so I'm sitting here as a basketball coach, as a other coach, looking in at a sport that I'm not real familiar with, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it, peeking in on their practice though. I heard a long time ago that wrestling practice is one of the hardest sports to practice for because it's more strength than the endurance thing.
Yeah.
And the strength thing can get you tired, and all the things they ask you for. And so I peeked my head in there, and man, I saw them working like everybody's just drenched with sweat.
Yeah.
And then Tramner saw me looking in the window. After I watched him for about 5 minutes, he looked up and he saw me in the window, and he came and opened it up. Bro, it was like a sauna. He opened the door and it was humid heat just open, just coming out, because that's how much they were working there. Everybody was sweating in the same building or in the same room at the same time, and you could just feel the heat, humidity from their sweat. So they was putting in work.
Well, I know that some of them too have to make weight. And so the night before a match, just like boxing. Yeah. If you want to compete in a certain class, what's his name? Dang, Felicia's boy. He had to make his weight and he had to sweat it out. So that one day we went in there to film before they headed to state. That's when Prosper and him went down to the state tournament.
Yep.
And I was like, why is he all bundled up and stuff? He's like, he's got to make his weight, so he's sweating it out.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? Then you got to go and rehydrate it after you get,
After you
weigh in.
Yeah.
And then go compete. I was like, woo, boy, those are some warriors, man.
I mean, we talk about boxing all the time and making weight. Some fighters, they don't get a fight because they don't make weight.
Yeah.
And it's a trouble for adults to do that, and then having the young men do that too. It's very tough, And
then last year, the girls, when we went down to cover them, I know that they did all excellent. I mean, just to represent down there and everything. One of them, I think it was Huns, that had a hard time, and she expended a lot of strength, a lot of her. And then she had to wrestle again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she didn't make it that far. Some of them, they pin them like in the first 10 seconds, fill them out, boom, boom, boom. That's it. You know what I mean? And then you get to rest up for the next match and stuff. I love going down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
the
hopefully,
energy is just kind of like.
Yeah, it's crazy and stuff. You know what I mean? So if parent involvement, you're talking about parent involvement.
Yes.
If we have some fans of this Winnebago Public School and you don't even understand wrestling, Tramner and all those guys, they'll teach it to you, and then you go down there and you know what to look for, and you become a fan of wrestling.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and just, I guess, end on that note. Just just big ups to the wrestling program, the high school wrestling program. We have a lot of fine athletes in there. I just
keep up the good work,
really,
guys.
really love it. And then give it up to the coaches, because their dedication and showing, not only just being there for the practice and hollering at them, do this, do that, and but actually getting winners out of there, getting making these athletes that that probably never played football, basketball, that volleyball, making them wrestlers and then making them feel good about themselves because they're winning.
Right.
That is huge. And then after talking with Tram up there, we kind of branched off and started talking about the youth program that they have. Okay, so parents out there that maybe your kid wants to wrestle, maybe he saw videos of wrestling, or he heard in the school hallway that there's this good wrestling program or something like that. So Coach Tramner and all his helpers there, his assistants there, they started a youth program called the Company A Scouts.
Cool. Youth
Wrestling Program. And I'm gonna tell you something, bro. I never really thought about wrestling too much, because wrestling is during basketball season, and usually I'm too busy doing basketball stuff but my little girl, Jessique, she's a second grader. They just finished their basketball season off this past Sunday, and on Sunday the boys said, hey, today's your last game, and she's like, is it really? And she's like, ah. And then and then one of them said, but you can start wrestling though. And then she looked at them like they were joking with her, and then she looked at me, and I kind of went like this. I said, if you want to. And then her face lit up, and she said, Mom, can I wrestle? And her mom said, yeah, if you want to, if you want to. And then she said, Dad, I was scared to ask you because I thought you'd say no. And so I brought her up there on Monday, and she started her first practice on Monday.
Nice.
So now I definitely got to get into start learning the sport.
For sure.
I don't know anything about wrestling. I went to WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
I went to WrestleMania
totally
before, but I got to learn this sport of wrestling because I don't know how to score it.
Question for you guys: Ultimate Warrior, is he still alive? Do you know?
No, I don't think so.
Dang, he passed away.
Yeah, I think
all
so,
those guys.
back.
Jake the Snake and Hulk Hogan, and there's Bret Hart. All those guys. They're common, man.
Yeah.
But I always Ultimate Warrior. Everybody back in school used to paint their face like Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Had the little
especially during football season.
Yeah, Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
He passed away though, huh?
Yeah,
I gotta tell you guys a story. So you talk about wrestling. My little nephew, Ashleen's boy, third grade, and they got him into a singlet and everything, and he went and started wrestling, got the moves down and everything. Little guy. So there's a big tournament down in Grand Island, right? And they go down there. I didn't get to make it and stuff like that, but they're down there, and it's packed full. The gym's packed full. You go wrestle and all this and that. And you kind of camp out throughout the day, kind of bring your picnic stuff and all that. Behind them, guess who walks up and watches his son, Terrence Crawford.
Really?
Right behind him. Yeah. Ashley was there, and she told me about it and everything, and I was like, what? And he has his son wrestling, and he's starting him out, and he's a little third grader. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Terrence Crawford's into wrestling
Oh,
too,
there
man.
you go.
So heck yeah.
That's
So
pretty
next
cool.
time, if you guys go to a wrestling match with your daughter, never
your eye
know.
out.
Yeah.
Keep your eye out. Keep
Nephew
your eye
Bud
out.
might
Yeah.
show up. No.
Yeah, so I actually, finishing up with the wrestling part of this, Coach Tranmer, he's a real good guy. I know he's here for the long run. A lot of times you get some teachers come in, some coaches come in, and they're here for 2, 3, maybe even 4 years. Knock out some student loans and stuff like that. And then they're on to the next venture. But I know Coach Tranmer is probably here for the long run. He loves Winnebago. He loves the students. When he was talking about the Company A Scouts youth wrestling program, I could just see in his face that he just thought, we need to start young.
Yeah.
We always talk about that. Start young. We need to start young. We need to get the little kids
Right.
start learning this thing. So by the time they get to the junior high age, they're already ready.
Yeah.
And then all you got to do is just grow and get stronger, so.
And then I want to back up a little bit. I know you're talking about
Yep.
the youth one and stuff, but the lady wrestling program from last year literally exploded this year. So if we're bringing home champions, they're facing tougher and bigger competition far as the number wise.
Yeah.
So I think it was 700 last year. Now it's up to like 1,400
Yeah.
girl wrestlers. I mean, that's nuts.
Yeah, that number, I think Adam James gave us that number during a live stream one time, and we couldn't believe it was so huge, like a huge turnaround.
Right.
Like something happened,
Yeah.
like something happened, just boom, all of a sudden it's like 3, 4, 5 times more kids.
Yeah, and I know that we have like the pioneers of getting that up to that level, Tramner and James, all those guys working at the wrestling league level, and to kind of like, hey, you guys need to have a state championship, because before last year was like held down in Grand Island or something like that. It wasn't held in Omaha.
It was. I don't think it was affiliated with the NSAA. I don't know if it is now.
It is.
It is now. Now it is,
because it's at the CHI Center.
Yeah.
And it's packed out. You know what I mean? And the boys tournament's packed out. It's for a good time.
Yeah, and they got it. It's a college deal now. I think they just started introducing girls wrestling at the D1 level.
Oh, really?
Like last year. It was relatively recent.
Yep.
So here we go. I got to put this on the table, guys.
All right.
Like, okay, now, you know how when you go and there's res fights around the res.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they don't know how to fight and stuff like that. Now we might get some good kind of action, right? You know what I mean? Because they are equipped with some of that knowledge. No, I'm just playing.
There won't be no hair pulling. They'll be headlocking.
Blow for blow.
They might be getting hurt now.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And meet over at the church.
The mortuary. Nah.
The circle.
Hey, so yeah, parents, if you are interested, or if your child is interested in wrestling, make sure to contact Adam Tranmer up at the public school. I believe the number is 402-878-2224. And ask for Coach Tranmer, and he'll get you all set up.
Cool. Shout out to you guys. Go and do station identification.
Yep, we are here on episode 9 for Big Boy Sports Talk Show, KWTN 100.9 FM.
Okay.
Coach Q, Coach Austin Bales, man. It's good to have him here. Glad that you extended the invitation. First time on?
Yeah, first time on.
What do you think?
It's a pretty sweet setup, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, we'll have to
Cool.
maybe make you a regular and stuff like that. You
Yeah.
got the voice. I mean, that
Yeah,
mic
I'm
picks your
down.
voice up really good and everything.
Yeah.
You know the wrestling. No, I'm just
A
like
little bit.
Yeah, you have to start talking a little more resi though. Yeah, so hey, so our next topic we're gonna talk about is high school basketball. Coach Bells, how many games you been to this year?
This year I've been up in the lab, in the esports lab, so I watch them on YouTube here and there. But yeah, I haven't got to see a full game yet.
Been up in the lab.
Besides Cash, have you got any other high school boys or girls? Varsity or JV basketball
That
players
do
on?
basketball, not this year. Thomas Walker's one that sometimes he played esports last year. But it's tough to balance. So
Yeah, it sounds like it.
well, especially basketball. Like football, we've had people play football and then come up after practice. And football's
yeah.
not as demanding because you're not playing, 3-4 nights a week like
Right.
you do in basketball. And
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
tough.
Easier to get it in there in your time, you know.
Yeah, but no, it's definitely, you know, there's other schools that do it, and, you know, like we'll play a school where, hey, we have to play at this date at 7 o'clock after all practices.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
you know, and so it's doable. You know, if kids are out there wanting to do both, they can do both.
Be a two sport athlete
Yeah.
during that season. That'd be
The
cool.
games that you did watch, what'd you think?
They look good this year. I mean,
Yeah.
I think they've been struggling lately, but I mean, it's
Right.
It's like a roller coaster, man. It's when they're up, they're up, and when they're down, they're down.
The ladies, they play coming up, right? Are
They're
they
playing tonight.
Yeah, they're playing tonight and stuff.
Yeah.
They won their first game, right?
Yeah,
And they play tonight. So
Yeah,
it's
so
good.
yeah, just to talk about the conference tournament, the Lewis and Clark conference tournament started on Monday when the girls they played on Monday evening. They played Tri-County over at Tri-County, and the girls won.
Cool.
I believe they won by like 11 or 12 points.
Nice.
It was a good game. I saw one of the coaches post after the game. He was so satisfied with his team that he's been looking towards his younger group for a little more leadership from them.
Yeah.
Having to fill shoes from some of the older ladies that need subs and everything like that. The younger girls are stepping in and stepping up, and they won their game on Monday, and the second round game is tonight. As a matter of fact, I think tip off is probably
6.
at 6 o'clock.
Wow, I got 15 minutes.
They
Yeah,
have a
15
live stream
minutes.
as well.
Where are they playing at?
It looks like they're going to be in Wassa.
Okay.
They're playing Wausau in Wausau.
What's the mascot of Wassa? Do you know?
I think
it's
they're
the
Tigers.
Vikings.
Oh,
Is it?
yeah, Vikings.
Don't
You're
ask
right.
me.
No, you're right. You're right. It is the Vikings.
Yeah.
It is the Vikings.
We didn't really play them that much when I was in high school, Wassa. They're kind of way out there a little bit, right? Is
Yeah.
it? I'm not even sure.
It's only like
past-
an hour and a half.
it's
It's
like
past
by
Laurel
Pierce.
off like 20 or
Okay.
59. Well, 59 straight west of
Gotcha.
Laurel.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think there's a live stream link somewhere.
Yep, the Winnebago Public Schools Facebook has the link shared on their page.
Oh, there you go. So you can find it there if you're trying to watch the girls play. And yeah, so good luck, girls. Good luck. Hope to see you girls make it to the next round. I believe they're in that 9 to 16 bracket.
Yeah.
And the team they play, Wausau, is the number 9 seed. So they're like the top seed. They had a first round bye, it looked like, on that bracket. And then yeah, so that's who they play tonight. They have an opportunity to knock off, I guess you would say, the best record
Sure.
in their bracket, you know.
Yeah.
And then so we'll just move on to the boys real quick. You know, we were all at the game last night. We did a live stream last night.
Did you watch it?
I didn't see last night's.
Live from Wynot, Nebraska.
Yeah.
You know,
the Quonset.
Yeah, the Quonset. Yeah, I believe Coach Huge called it the barn a couple times.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
pretty small in there.
that place was always difficult to play in, you know.
Yeah.
But it's an advantage of being a higher seed in this conference tournament that you get to play a home game.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And you know, as much as any of us can say that, you know, it's a really small gym, it's a barn, Quonset, you know, those guys get to practice in it every day.
Yeah.
You know, and man, it showed last night. They couldn't miss.
Yeah, they have a rubber floor. It's kind
Yeah.
of back in the days, you know what I mean?
Old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of times floors, and I think our players are used to the ball bouncing a certain way on a wooden floor.
Yeah.
And you get it on that kind of, I don't know what it's called, the official term of that.
Some kind of like rubber cord, it feels like.
Yeah, it's got a
Yeah, you know, and I was thinking, this is just me thinking, when I walked in, I saw state champion banners, girls basketball, just like recently,
Yeah.
like in the past 10 years, I saw like 6 of them, you know?
Yeah.
And so you would think with all those state championships that the athletic department could get a new floor.
Right. I do want to send a shout out to them. The superintendent, Paul, he helped us out. We did manage to kind of leave some equipment behind, and they were more than willing. And Bethany has a shout out to the athletic director. You worked with who?
Yeah, Tammy.
Tammy. And she took care of you, right?
Yeah,
So-
she was really like helpful. She was willing. She gave us a table. They had a little area for us, and she was more than willing to have us down there to come down and live stream. So shout out to our sponsors, the Winnebago Volunteer Fire Department and Little Priest Tribal College.
Yeah, thank you guys. And Coach Q was on the call last night, as well as Eugene. Did an excellent job. Unfortunately, the boys, not so much, you know.
Yeah, not so much. And kind of showed that the gym is a hard place to play in. We played there before. It was a hard place to play in, you know.
Yeah.
But fortunately, back in the day in the conference tournament, you lost one game, you was out.
Right.
You were just done.
Yeah.
But today's bracket in 2023, they have a consolation bracket. So it looks like Winnebago will be playing on Thursday. The boys will be playing on Thursday at 6:00, and I believe they're playing.
Who lost last night? It was Ponca and LLC, right? Or Laurel
I believe
Concord?
it's Laurel that they're playing.
So Ponca advanced.
So
on.
Ponca advanced. Okay, well then that'll be a game in Laurel on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they're the higher seed.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep. Tomorrow at 6:00. So yeah, I don't know that. I believe that bracket is up on the Winnebago Public Schools Facebook page as well. If you guys want to look at that bracket. So, but good luck to the girls and good luck to the boys. I hope you guys get a couple more dubs.
What do you think happened last night? I mean, because we beat Why Not here in Winnebago.
Yeah, you know, and I was just we were talking about that. I just think that maybe okay. I'm always honest on this show.
Yeah.
I think a little overconfidence kind of got him.
Oh, okay.
A little overconfidence, you know.
Yeah.
We beat them before. They came in the Winnebago gym that night at 9-1.
Yeah.
Winnebago put on a show, and all the boys got hot, and that was in our home court.
Right.
You know, and then and they really kind of made Why Not look like not so much of a one-loss team.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, getting that confidence against them one time and having to match up against them another time, I don't think they were ready for it.
Yeah.
I don't think they were ready for it. You remember Tyson Fury and what's his name, Deontay Wilder?
Yeah.
That first fight. Okay, so then overconfidence come in because I think that first one was a draw or something.
Yeah, he blamed it on the outfit that he walked the ring walk.
So he come in a little overconfident, thinking, okay, you know, I'm gonna get it this time.
Yeah.
But he wasn't expecting what happened, and you know, Fury just got him. And I think that's what happened last night, was just a little overconfidence, a lot of we talk
that
about duties.
Foxhoven, that player Foxhoven,
Yeah.
he had 15 points. Like, he was just everywhere, you know what I mean? And then he slowed down a little bit in the third and fourth quarter. I think Winnebago had a little hard time with rebounds. You know, getting second chance rebounds on both sides, the offense and defense. And then I said it to keys of victory, free throws. You know what I mean? We could have brought it within single digits, and we had a 1-and-1, and it was free throw didn't get made.
Yeah.
I think Duran did an excellent job. He was shooting down threes, trying to get his team back in there. They just couldn't pull it off, man. I mean, give credit to Why Not, though. They were pumped up. And
they were from as soon as they got out of the locker room, you could tell how pumped up they were. I kind of think that their coach hyped him up. I heard that he was on a show earlier. I think it was Channel 4 or something like that, and he was kind of giving a little pregame or whatever.
Yeah.
And he made it sound like they were fired up, you know.
Yeah.
And I believe that there were clips on the news last night too, because the news that news station was there at the game. So anyway, but yeah, unfortunately the boys couldn't pull it off last night, and they got some time to work on those things that they need to work on before postseason here. Postseason will be here right around the corner.
Yeah, so good luck in the rest of the tournament.
Yeah.
And they'll be in action tonight and also on Thursday for the boys.
Yep. Okay. Well, let's get into a little bit of NBA talk then. Coach Bells, who's your favorite NBA team?
Lake Show.
The Lake Show?
Yeah.
I'm
a big Kobe
I'm
fan.
so glad you brought that up. No, I'm a Boston Celtics fan. So yeah, they played each other this past week, and it was a pretty crazy game.
Big rivalry back in the day, Larry Bird and Johnson.
Yeah,
you know
and even Wilt is still and Bill Russell.
Kobe made you a fan of Lakers?
Yeah, I like Kobe Bryant. He was my favorite.
R.I.P.
That's good. Yeah. So, did you cry?
I mean, I didn't cry, but yeah, it was pretty sad, man. It's a bad deal.
I wasn't really a Kobe fan, but I'm a basketball fan.
Yeah,
I live basketball. I shed tears that day.
Man, I'm telling you.
Just thinking about not just thinking about his career and what he did,
right?
But just thinking about his family and what he was trying to do. So
it's like you remember certain things. September 11th. And then when Kobe passed away, you remember that day.
We were actually at a basketball tournament. Me and I think they were in 6th grade at the time, but we were out in some small town out by Santee somewhere. And we were on our way back.
Heard it.
And then my wife messaged me and said, "Did you see the news?" And I was like, "Man, I'm on the road. And how'd I see the news?" And she told me that the news, and I was like, "No way."
Yeah.
And then she said, "No, for real." And I was like, "Wow." And I told the boys, and the van just got quiet.
Yeah.
I had like sixth graders in my van loaded up, and all got quiet, and here I'm sitting there and just kind of thinking, wow, that's crazy.
Right.
I mean, not just because of the news, but how it happened, with the helicopter.
Why did he go from jersey number 8 to 24?
Well, it was like the halfway point in his career, but I think he had a little controversy around that time too, so maybe he was trying to switch up the narrative. Okay. I don't know.
Shed that kind of number.
Put that behind.
Who knows? But it was pretty crazy. If he lined up his stats when he was number 8 and his stats when he was number 24, it's like almost identical. Like championships, MVPs,
he was killing them both ways.
Yeah,
that's cool. So NBA news, what do we got?
Okay, well, I was just gonna bring up the Laker and Boston game this past. They got a lot of news, a lot of headlines. The Lakers and Celtics played, and
so before we go into that, are you a LeBron fan then?
I like LeBron. I think he's getting a little carried away, but But I was a big LeBron fan before he came to the Lakers, and I was happy he came to the Lakers. But
ever since Cleveland or Miami,
from
LeBron.
When he was young, I thought it was cool, that young 18-year-old balling out.
Right. Yeah. I heard like he's gonna break some record, and then the ticket sales for that game is 75,000.
Wow.
To get to that game, I don't know which game it is and stuff. Yeah, is that true?
I saw one that said a ticket. That one ticket, the cheapest ticket, is going to be around $4,500
for that game to see him break that record.
Yeah, then it's against like
Pelicans or something.
Yeah, the Pelicans. I think it's the Pelicans, and then Zion's not even playing because he's still trying to recover from an injury. So
yeah, you don't want to be that team.
It's like you're not even like you're going to pay that much money to see him break it, but you're just gonna see him play against a team, anyway. But the Pelicans, they have some former Lakers on that team.
Do they?
They have some former Lakers on that team that LeBron traded out.
Okay.
And I don't think they're gonna let the Lakers have it so easy,
Yeah.
So I hope he gets it, because it's gonna happen. Yeah. I hope he gets it. I just hope they win the game.
That's like that would be messed up though. If I paid $75,000 for a ticket, and then it's like Tom Brady unretiring. I remember that last touchdown, that guy got it and thought he's gonna be a millionaire and stuff like that, and then he came and unretired. so
the value of that football went.
I mean, like that would be messed up.
He should have sold that thing right away.
I know. He paid like $2 million for that football.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's so crazy. Yeah. And so anyway, I don't know if you saw it, Garen, but so the Celtics and Lakers played earlier this past week, and good game, good game. I was sitting there kind of mad because the Lakers were up by I think 15 or 17 in the second half, and I'm sitting there like, come on, you guys got to start doing something now, know. And they went on. It seemed like the Lakers got tired. That's what it seemed like to me. They got tired, and Celtics just start running. They start running, and they tied the ball game up late in the game. And then the Lakers had the ball. They get to LeBron to do his magic, and he gets the upper hand on everybody, takes it to the hole, he goes up and he gets up there high for a layup, and as he's getting ready to release it, then Jason Tatum comes by and then gets and fouls him on the wrist. Now, this is the first time I'm ever admitting that he fouled him on the wrist. But he did. He fouled him on the wrist, and no call. And Lakers already used up their challenge.
Dang.
And so that ended regulation with a no call. And he was so mad. And this is the part where I know Coach Bell said that LeBron's getting carried away.
Yeah.
Because, man, I haven't seen any professional athlete cry like that.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
He was on his hands and knees.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah, and I think he even, like, as he's because he's like all in his emotions and stuff, he don't really realize that he's doing it. And he looks up like, oh, the cameras are watching me. And so then he just kind of like, oh, he puts his head down, and he can't believe it, and I totally get the dude, like he was fouled. He was fouled. And the call should have been called. And even the referees, after a couple days later, the referees got with their people, and they come to a conclusion that it was a foul, and could have changed the whole direction of that game. He could have made those 2 free throws, or at least one, and won the game.
Yeah.
But it went overtime. Celtics ended up winning. So, but yeah, that's what I was gonna bring up. Like, and I'm glad that Coach Bale said he was a Lakers fan. Not glad because of the LeBron thing, but just so we had like somebody that on the other side that can actually give LeBron's side of the story here.
I don't know if there's much to say about it. I mean, it's, I get being upset, and it sucks the call didn't go your way, but there's probably three, 4 other calls in that game that didn't go your way, and you just gotta like, you can be mad about it, you could say something, but like don't lay down on the court for 5 minutes. And that was my piece on it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, and I agree, because I thought the same thing, just being professional, and then not only that, one thing that I'm a real stickler on is, how many kids look up to you, and they're watching that, and they're gonna think it's all right to do that, and it's not. Before every basketball game, before every sporting competition that we have at our schools, they talk about sportsmanship and all that kind of stuff. But the person with the highest tier right here, and he's acting like that, it's going to trickle down to the effect that, who knows, maybe all these other players are going to start doing that. Maybe college is going to start doing that, and they got to stop that.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why you have such a shortage of refs in like youth sports right now. It's just from bad attitudes and parents yelling, and
that is totally true. That's totally true. Even up here at the arena, I help referee up there from time to time. I know there's some of the community members here that also referee up there from time to time, and just kind of making those friends up there with different officials. Some people, they do quit because of that, and they're like, hey, sorry I can't ref with you no more, or something like that. But I've had it over here, and it's a lot of the parents and a lot of the coaches that are doing that, and then,
a lot of them are doing it because they want to. They're not making good money reffing. It's not like, or they're young kids, and that's just something for them to make money. A little bit of money.
Extra cash,
and they could care less who wins or lose.
Yeah.
They're just there to try to support the youth program, and it's.
I like how my brother Buff, when he refs, he's like, he'll say, I don't care who wins. I already got paid. He'll say, I already got paid. I don't care who wins. It doesn't matter who wins here. I already got paid.
Yeah. Last night the refs at the Why Not game, they called it pretty good. I don't think Why Not fans agreed with some of those calls and stuff. But this is pretty interesting. Who's your favorite player? NBA.
Well, Kobe, but
I mean,
now Keegan Murray.
Yeah,
he's tearing it up right now. He's a former Hawkeye.
Oh, is he really?
Oh, nice. There you
okay,
go.
who's he play for?
Sacramento Kings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got a good young squad.
They're a young running squad, man.
Yeah.
Kind of one of those, like, Raptors came out of nowhere that one year and won it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you never know. You never know.
Yeah, I think they're, what are they, like 3rd or 4th right now in the West?
Yeah, and then Shaq is a part owner out there for Sacramento. And he's loving it. He's loving it because the Kings, they hardly ever they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And this is their year.
How about MVP? Who you predicting?
Ooh, good question.
I don't know. I mean, I probably don't watch enough NBA to know who the top guy is right now.
The Kings are actually in third place in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
That is good.
How about who you think MVP?
I'm shooting for Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum?
Not just because I'm a Celtics fan, but I think that just the way that he's playing, he just seems like a young KD, you know. And,
Yeah.
And KD was always talked about being in the MVP race, and you know they always say the best player on the best team should be MVP, and right now, or for most of the year, that Celt's been the best team, you know. So
Yeah. So if you were Mattress Mac and you put $2 million down on a sports bet, who would you have in the finals? Who are you predicting at today's date? You know what I mean? And he lost, by the way. He had, the college. He had TCU. He put so much money on it because he's from Texas.
Oh, okay.
And he lost his $2 million. I mean, but
Yeah.
he won like $50 million from when the Astros won it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
No,
he's
that's
all
just
right.
chump change.
I don't know. Maybe Grizzlies and Celtics.
Grizzlies.
South, hey, that's good.
Okay.
That's good.
The Grizzlies are currently in second, and the Celtics are number one on the East Coast.
Man, I got to throw the Celtics in there, and the only way that they're gonna get over this hump, they got to play Golden State, and they got to beat them. They have to beat them. I mean, that's the matchup I want to see because Golden State's been on top for a long time, you know, and it's time for them to get knocked down.
Are they number one right now?
No, Golden State is actually number 5. Nuggets, 35-16. Nuggets are sitting on top on the Western Conference, and Warriors are 26-24. So, but they usually come on pretty late.
Yeah, what they do is I think they make sure and tend to all injuries and all issues and stuff like that before the playoffs. Hey, everybody get healthy, you know.
Yeah.
And they'll rest people, and I think Steph Curry had a couple injuries this year. We had to sit out a couple games, but they just want their team to be healthy come playoff time, you know. Because man, when it's playoff time, those guys go to work, you know.
I don't think Draymond helped him out in the beginning of the year with all that
No,
controversy.
No, yeah. And that's another reason why I want the Warriors to get beat because of him. Just make him be quiet for a while, dude.
Celtics and the Bucks. Who's going to win out of the Celtics and the Bucks? Because that's probably the Eastern Conference Finals.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. It depends how Giannis plays.
Yeah, because you know what? Last year, they didn't meet in the Eastern Finals. They met up in the semis.
Oh.
And they went 7 games.
They did.
Yeah,
that's right.
And then they had to play Miami in the finals.
Right.
That went 7 games. So, back in the day, Jordan used to just get done with it in 6 games so he has time to rest, you know?
Yeah. It's pretty interesting, man. But I tune in when it's the finals. During the regular season, they just play way too many games and stuff.
That's why I just check scores in the regular season.
Right. And then when that's when it comes down to it. It's the playoffs and stuff like that. So
I'll sit and watch Celtics play at night, or if there's a West Coast game with like the Grizz, I'll love watching John Morant play no matter what, you know. But most of the time, I just check the other scores. You know, South's my only team I'll watch a full game of.
For sure. Station Identification. We're coming down to the end of the show here. It's about 6 o'clock. So go ahead.
Yep. So this is episode 9 for the Big Voice Sports Talk Show. We got Coach Q, Coach Bales, DJ Garanteed, DJ Bessami here on the Big Voice Radio, KWTN 100.9 FM.
Okay, so the topic is Super Bowl. Just give us real quick so we can get through this. Who do you got winning the Super Bowl?
Okay, so
no explanation.
I got to go with the Eagles because my son's going with the Chiefs.
Okay.
Eagles.
You got the Eagles? Who you got?
I'm going with the Chiefs.
You going with the Chiefs? I got the Eagles.
Eagles?
Yeah. So it might be we could owe you it. You should bet us. Yeah, I think the Eagles is gonna win it.
All right.
I think that it's pretty cool. There's some kind of cool stories coming out of it. Those brothers are gonna go against each other. The Kelsey brothers.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. Wayne Kelsey and.
All right, Peru State.
Okay, so real quick, like on Peru State, y'all tune in. Go to Peru State's website right now.
Let's do it.
There's a game tonight at 7:30.
Okay.
7:30. It's gonna be a good game. The Winget brothers are gonna be facing off with I believe it's like Oral Roberts or something like that. I think it's one of those ones. But so far, since David Winget been back in action,
they've been on a tear.
They're 6-0 right now, and tonight they're trying to make it 7-0. good leadership by Winget. You know, he's I think he's averaging around 17 points a game. So good job by those Winget brothers to keep Peru State going. Hopefully they can see some postseason tournament action, you know. And then also shout out to Natasha Deal. Apparently the last couple of weeks I think she scored her career high. I think it was like 17 or 19 points or something like that.
Yeah.
So she went on a tear and they got the win, everything like that. So good job, Natasha. Good seeing our Winnebago people out there doing some good things, you know. And so yeah, that kind of brings it all the way to the end of the session today, end of the episode.
Weekly winners.
And we're gonna go, like Garen wants to do weekly losers too, so we're gonna go on the weekly. Let's go on the weekly losers first.
All right, you guys ready for mine? The world premiere. Okay, so I read this story about sports and stuff because I was trying to get prepared for tonight's episode. But let's see if I can bring it up. I heard, this is my loser, that a 22-year-old coach played in a JV game. What's up with that? She is my loser, man.
I heard about that.
How'd that conversation happen? Like, what was going on?
And you know, okay, so it gets interesting more because after the game, they lost the game. After the game, the head coach and the parents, they all decided, well, this is probably it. We can probably, just call it a season now, But they didn't say it during the game. They said it after the game, and so sometime during the game, somebody must have said something somehow.
Well,
and busted them out.
She substituted for a player because
13-year-old.
Yeah, that wore number 24, and they seen like the highlights of it, and that she went off to a different tournament.
Yeah, she was playing club ball that weekend.
Right,
yeah.
And then she gets back and she's like, "Hey, who wore my jersey and stuff?" And then the parents are like, "Hey, that's not right." You know what I mean? So it was like impersonation, and she's got fired, but I heard she balled out though.
Yeah, I heard a lot of attention was drawn because she got an and one and she was like screaming in that kid's face. A 22-year-old screaming in a 13-year-old's face, talking about and one.
That's my loser, man.
Oh man,
keep this show negative or anything, but
I don't even think
that's a
I
loser,
don't know
right?
where that would come from.
I can't beat that.
Yeah, that's tough to beat.
I can't beat that.
All right, so you guys do the winners, weekly winners. Who do you got?
Who's first?
Whoever.
You guys go ahead.
Okay.
I gotta think still.
I'll go my weekly winner. I'm gonna go with Peru State. Okay, 6-0. Gonna make it 7-0 tonight. When I get home tonight, I'm gonna log on.
You're not gonna jinx them?
No. No, I'm logging on and I'm gonna be cheering from my living room there.
Cool.
Eating some wings and all that.
We're coming over.
But hey,
right, Bethany?
but a quick loser though. I got a loser.
Okay, all right.
The guy who late hitted Patrick Mahomes on the sideline over there and cost them the game.
Messiah or something like that. His name was.
It could have been a whole different story.
Would have been a lot tougher field goal.
Yeah, could have went overtime.
We talked about that, huh, Bethany? Just that late hit and sent that kicker closer to
That's my loser.
That is
loser
the worst. Yeah.
All right.
Pretty interesting.
I'd probably just go with the Winnebago esports team. Those are the winners.
Let's go.
We got a lot of momentum going into the tournament here.
Marlon is our apprentice.
Yeah.
And stuff,
Oh,
so
yeah,
we're
that's
going to be
right.
cheering him.
Marlon's a two-time state champion trying to make it 3.
Hey, boy, that is what I'm talking
The
about.
three-peat.
Three-peat for sure. Trying to go for the the three-peat. Who do you got for?
I'm gonna give it to the little girls that just won their championship last night.
Oh yeah.
Was it last night?
Customs?
Little third grade
The
girls.
third grade, yeah.
They won their league.
Andriana and Vanis.
Yep.
Oh, cool. At the arena?
Remember the girls that did the halftime show?
Yeah.
Yeah, those girls.
Oh,
they won the championship up at the arena.
Champed out.
They went undefeated on the entire season.
Wow.
And I believe that they have right around 12 or 13 league games.
Yeah.
And 3 tournaments.
That's cool.
So they went undefeated. So they were champs in 3 tournaments.
legit.
This postseason one is probably the most important one.
Well, Coach Bales, we wish you the best of luck at the state tournament.
Yep.
Tell the boys that we're rooting them on. We appreciate Coach Q and DJ Bessami. What you got for them tomorrow?
Yeah, make sure that you tune in with us here on The Big Voice at 11 a.m. We'll be going live for All Requests Live. We'll be giving away another shirt, so if you haven't voted for the top song of the week, make sure you vote. And then we'll be going into Res Ride, a new episode with MCBKC. So that'll be at 4 to 6 p.m.
And then we have Friday Night Hot Mix coming your way because
Yep.
it's payday Thursday going into Friday.
Yep.
We got a lot of good things. Midnight Love is going to be from 10 to midnight. So
The T-shirt going on tomorrow, right?
yeah, but we got some pre-sale Last Bare Moon Powwow T-shirts. And if you want to pick one up, they retail for $27.89, I think, like that, but they're going to sell them for $20.
There you go.
So make sure you get those. It's like the day of the powwow, they're going to probably go up in price, you know what I mean? Be like selling them for maybe $25.
Yeah.
So take advantage of that. And all the proceeds is for a good cause. It goes back into the powwow. So for sure.
All right.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
sure.
thanks
Thanks
a lot,
for the
Coach
invite.
Bales.
Here we go. All right, KWTN 100.9. You tuned in to the Big Boy Sports Talk Show. And you folks have a good evening.